This is an old pickle factory, and when we found this space, it was full of stuff. And the property owner runs a dismantling and recycling company. And so everything that was in this space, he was like, it's fair game for the artists to use for their pieces. So like Jason and Scott Hocking and Michi all kind of scavenged the space and found their pieces within the space. And then we're able to create this site-responsive work as a result. The beautiful thing about these shows that we get to do is like, when you're doing them on site, everybody's working kind of like as a studio in the locations. The pieces form as we all move together. When we all get to see it finished and start having conversations about it, we're like, there's so much going on here.
Yeah.
And like we have so many intentional conversations about who we're choosing to be in the shows, which artists, everybody tells us what they think they're gonna do, but as things really form and you guys start responding to space and each other, really big, beautiful moments happen.
So I imagined that there is this man who wanted to create his own empire, and he used that southern influence in this northern region to create Soul by the Pound. You start to see like a beautiful grit, and I'm thinking about these neighborhoods and these communities and how we talk about Americanness or how we talk about Blackness.
Osman Khan is a professor at the University of Michigan. He created a working business, Indus Truck Works, which is a real fake office that people could actually go and rent moving trucks from. He has an actual moving truck that is outside the exhibition in the courtyard. It's decorated with the iconography of old Pakistani work trucks. And this piece talks about the way that the American culture has dominated the global landscape. Cheeto Johnson was born in Zimbabwe, where he grew up making wire cars as a kid. When he moved to Detroit, he started the Wire Car Auto Workers Association of Detroit. And for Boom City, he created Boom Parking, which is a collection of about 60 cars made by people who have taken his various workshops.
Graham White is the co-owner of Pop's Packing. For Boom City, he exhibited Pop's Sauna, which was a collaborative piece that he created with several residents.
So in this space, something that came to mind for me, and I think for both of us, was the feeling of the womb.
I like to think that this bedding, these draperies were from her prime, in the peak of her womanhood, back in the 50s when women were really portraying this ultra sexy, domesticated housewife persona that to me is just like the grossest part of being a woman.
Ingrid LaFleur is a curator based in Detroit. She created a beautiful installation that requires and asks Detroiters to take off their shoes and put their feet in the earth. The entire installation is steeped in the ideals of Afrofuturism. Mitch Cope created a large-scale mural on the side of the pickle factory that pays homage to an old professor of his. The piece is called After Eris. Antonio Cosme is a young activist artist from Southwest Detroit. He created 2 murals for the exhibition. One is called Free the Water and the other is Free the Land, both talking about social justice issues going on in the city right now.
When I was approached by Dashboard, I wanted to honor Mary. And so Mary was a metalsmith artist from Wayne State, but she grew up in Laredo, Texas, and her family moved to Detroit because of the auto industry. Because she was a flamenco dancer, she used her body to make sound. She was a percussionist. Oh, that's it. That's what we were looking for.
These are objects, but I feel like the sculpture itself activates that space. Like, I think positive and negative are always very key, so that what is surrounding a piece, I think, is sometimes more powerful than the actual piece. That was interesting to me because I went to school in Baltimore and I've been in inner cities, but what I found interesting about Detroit is that it is truly unique in its footprint as a emotional footprint. The prism that's hanging off the building is just neon tube with metal parts, so it's structural light.
Melanie Manos is a professor at the University of Michigan, and for her piece, Boom City Bodywork, she is talking about how much time she spends physically in the front seat of her car and the things that she does within her car, pulling from the very steep car culture within Detroit.
As you're entering the room, the first thing you're encountered with, you really encounter these totemic columns that are made out of plastic chrome. They really are phallic symbols. And in this case, there's something recognizable and warm about aspects of this room, but you don't quite know what's going on there. So the symbology is mystical, and creating some kind of mystical situation is interesting to me. Creating my own mythology is interesting to me.
The Ford Motor Company Fund invited Dashboard to Detroit to create a site-specific art exhibition. Dash is an Atlanta-based arts organization that travels the country producing art shows and vacant dynamic properties. It's been really, really exciting for us to see the way that artists and their work transform and reimagine the way that people experience these different properties. And something that has always resulted from our shows is this real sense of possibility. What's possible when we infuse our streets and our neighborhoods and our buildings with artwork? What kind of change can result from that?